This week on Headhunter Chronicles, Jason goes through some of his more exciting hunts caught on film and what he has planned for the future of Headhunter Chronicles.
When it comes to Africa, it's just such a big place. I mean, I think there's 53 countries. It was really a destination that I didn't really think about too much, and was thinking about I'd do it when I got older, because I've always was told that it's easy hunting and that type of stuff. So finally a guy talked me into going one time. He was always telling me how much fun it was, and we planned a trip over to Zimbabwe. And we were there just hunting plains game, trying to get a big kudu and just having a good old time when actually some people came into camp and let us know that there was a problem lion. And when they came to camp to talk to us to see if we were interested in coming, basically taking care of the problem. I was wound up saying, yeah. But as we got closer to that little makeshift blind, he stood up and he made eye contact. I feel like he made eye contact with us. I don't know if he did or not, but he actually started walking towards us. And Gideon was, told me to get ready. He's like, get ready. And I pulled my bow back. I came to full draw. And I don't know what you're going to do with a full frontal on a lion when all you've got is his big face looking at you. But he's getting closer, and I'm sitting there whispering to Gideon, please don't shoot my lion. Please don't shoot the lion. The lion gets closer and closer, and he starts yelling at the lion.
Move it.
I thought for sure Gideon's going to shoot him with the rifle and my hunt's over.
Move it. Move.
He shot between his legs. That lion roared, jumped, and ran right back to the bait, and I just stuck it right in his heart. And it didn't look like great penetration, but I don't realize how thin. People don't realize that it's not a big, giant, wide animal. It's a thin animal. So his breast cavity is only about this big, and I actually penetrated and hit the other leg. So it doesn't take that much to penetrate a lion. And he ran off with a lot of arrows sticking out. So I was very nervous. Gideon was like, great shot, when they started following the blood trail, and sure enough, it was less than 100 yards away. We find a big, giant, dead male lion there. Can you imagine this thing biting on you?
Yeah.
The experience was incredible, so I thought, I've got to go after the buffalo. And once I went after the buffalo in Mozambique, I started thinking more and more. I said, now I know what the Big Five's about, and I've really got to, I've got to make a plan for the Big Five. And I started planning on the leopard. The leopard is an awesome animal. Once we got over and did that, that hunt was incredible. To be up close and personal with the leopard, I knew the Big Five is really, the Big Five's coming together. I've got to do this. And just hanging out at SEI one time, I ended up meeting Gideon and Charles Watts at Watts Trophy Hunting. And I explained my goals with them, told them what I already had, and they just said, you've got to come to Africa with us. We'll go back to Zimbabwe where you can harvest an elephant, and then we'll go to South Africa where you ought to be able to dart a rhinoceros. And I was like, that's perfect, because I had no intention of killing a rhinoceros. And so that gave me so many more opportunities to fulfill the Big Five. The elephant had actually hit a road here. It's actually the old North Road. But we can't find the track now. The trackers are looking around. It's kind of amazing how a 10,000-pound animal can just disappear.
Again, slow.
Awesome. mean, on your shot you can see the backside
Yeah,
and the trunk. That is.
It was a cool experience. I mean, all these people came from all over. I mean, I don't even know how they knew that the elephant was shot, but people came from everywhere. Basically, we got the elephant down. I mean, I'm getting close to my big five, and I'm excited. You know, we're on this trip. One day we're cruising along. We hear this noise, and it's actually a cow buffalo. And she was trying to get her calf back, and it was a pack of wild dogs. There was about 16 of them, and the African wild dog is something you don't see. It's very rare to see it, and you don't see that very often. And this was, you know, to me was kind of the highlight of the trip, to watch these, you know, the mom trying to protect the calf, and basically there'd be 4 or 5 of those wild dogs chase her off while they were actually killing the calf. And you know, we were there and we were able to see the whole thing take place, and, you know, basically watch Mother Nature take its course. But we jumped on a plane and we headed to South Africa, where we were going to go meet up with the veterinarian. And the next morning he shows up, and basically it was time to, you know, to go after the rhino. And I was a little bit nervous with that bow for that elite archer made for me, but we started shooting, and I was still getting like, it was a 23 or 24 pounds or whatever it was, but I was still getting like 200 feet per second with the bow. So it was shooting perfect. I mean, we got it sighted in, and the veterinarian came over, and he watched me shoot a couple times just to make sure, you know, just to satisfy him. And so we were able to take off after the rhino. We jumped on a plane and we headed to South Africa, where we were going to go meet up with the veterinarian. And the next morning he shows up, and basically it was time to, you know, to go after the rhino. And at the beginning, they were kind of picking and choosing which rhino we shot, you know, so we got on the 2 that they wanted to shoot. We got up and got one shot. Once you get him hit, you got to start following him. You can't lose him, because if you don't give him the reversal drug, he's going to die on you. And that's, you know, that wasn't the purpose of this. We weren't actually there to kill. We weren't there to kill the rhino. And so once we got him down, you know, it was pretty fun. Everybody, all of a sudden, people come from everywhere. You know, they're all driving up on trucks, and they're all, you know, one person's taking blood, one person's doing pregnancy check. You know, they're giving it antibiotics. A really cool, interesting animal. And it's actually probably an animal that I probably wouldn't really want to kill. I would probably just recommend anybody to go dart one of them so you can experience that hunt. Yeah, once I completed the big 5, you know, I pretty much kind of settled down, and, you know, I had my fill of Africa, and I mean, I pretty much love the dark continent, but I've got a passion for mountain game, so I had to get back into chasing sheep around. And right about that time, the opportunity to go to Iran opened up. It had been closed since 1979, and that's a place where there's 8 different species of sheep, and tons of Western hunters have always wanted to go there. So when I heard that it was open and I had the opportunity, I was pretty much gone. Last day. They only give you 5 days on the reserve. This is actually the second time we've hunted Kerman sheep. It's just a tough hunt. We're way down in southern Iran in the desert. There's not a lot of vegetation. There's not a lot of water. We had a tough hunt this time because of the water, but he's still a mature ram, and he's coming to America. definitely look like they're worth getting closer to.
Thank you.
These guys have a 2,000-year-old hunting heritage. They've been sport hunting here in Persia for 2,000 years. And it's unbelievable to come here and take a sheep. It's open to Westerners. It's unbelievable how this sheep, he's growing so tight that he's wearing into his neck. It's just leaving perfect wear marks here. Every time he turns his head to look at something, he's gonna turn and just shave. It's incredible sheep. Everybody ready? Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes.
What's wrong with you, man? Okay.
6 hard days and I missed a long shot and they come running to us. Holy cow! Couldn't do it without you. You know, as the outfitters and these crazy destinations that I like to go to, you guys make it happen.
Hope to see you soon again.
Yeah.
You know, when I was leaving Iran, the outfitter told me that Jim Shockey was the next hunter in, and I thought that's pretty exciting. You know, he's kind of a, you know, he's pretty much an iconic hunter, and he's traveling the world and doing the same things that I like to do. So I was really excited to hear how his hunt went. So once he got home, we played phone tag a little bit and finally caught up with each other, and we talked, you know, had a good long conversation about Iran, and all of a sudden we're on the subject of moose. Jim's telling me all about his territory there in the Yukon, how big it is and how untouched it is. So pretty much the hunt was on.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's living on the edge of the world, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
If you
right.
want to come on in first.
You just
Made it. Don't know what's first, caribou, moose, grizzly, all the above. I'm all jacked up right now.
The bull was just not gonna make it into bow range. Time to shift gears.
Everybody ready? Oh, he's done. I had a good quarter.
Did you?
Yeah.
You got him. You got him. You got him. What a gong show. We were bow, rifle. I didn't know there was a third cow here. She's
Yeah.
the one that bolted. Otherwise, he would have come right in. We had him at 100 yards.
We had him, but when you said he was pushing a Boone and Crockett bull, I was like, forget it, we gotta shoot him.
No, he's a beauty. Holy. He is a monster. Oh, you gotta go over. You gotta touch him first. I can't touch him. Holy. Oh my God. This is a bull of a lifetime. This is a joke. That paddle is 54 inches.
Oh,
He is so far beyond that. Angling down
Lay
there,
down,
so heavy.
and just matching.
This is our biggest bull we've ever taken.
You know, once I got to spend that time in the Yukon, I started thinking about how, you know, those flights, it wasn't a brutal flight, and I started thinking about the rest of North America and Canada. I thought, you know, I got to relax a little bit and get back to the basics, you know, try to chase some whitetails around different states, maybe go chase a mule deer, go, you know, there's elk right here in my home state, and I had an elk hunting opportunity come available for that. So September was rolling around, and I was just waiting, just keeping my fingers crossed they were bugling. I'm still shaking, I don't care. And then when he turned quarter, and I thought, perfect, I love a quarter Norway shot. You put it on that rib and drive it home.
Headhunter Chronicles is brought to you by Zeiss. We make it visible. Epic Broadheads, performance, penetration, and a payday for your taxidermist. Elite Archery, respect the game. Outdoor Edge. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Scott Archery, everyone's number one. CVA, it's just a better gun. Closed captioning is brought to you by Can Cooker. Cater to your crowd.
Once elk season's over with, you know, you kind of start thinking about all the deer hunts that you can go on. And, you know, a lot of times you think of mule deer, everybody thinks of Colorado, but there's just so many more opportunities out there. You know, you've got places like Utah. You can glass these bucks up, you can make a plan when they bed, or actually just pop one long range. We bow hunted here for 10 days and then had to get back to work. Jeff called me back, said a bunch of deer have moved into the property. Rifle season was open. He said, you need to get out here. And I only had a couple of days before we have to leave to Nebraska. So we kind of switched from bow mode and went to rifle mode and kind of go see what we got here. Looks like a really wide buck. I think that's bigger than anything we saw in bow season. It's a good buck, huh? I didn't think we were coming back out. I just figured I had tag soup, and Jeff called me and said, hey, if you got some free time, I don't have any rifle hunters right now, get out here and come fill that tag. And that's what we did. The desert mule deer actually gives you opportunities to go to Mexico, and you get to hunt the brush down there. You know, it's big, you know, there is some big mountains and stuff, but you get to hunt that flat brush country, and it kind of reminds me of South Texas a little bit, where I was raised, so maybe that's kind of why I like it so much. But I just get excited to go down to Mexico, and you know, I like the culture, I love the food, and they just got so many hunting opportunities for big giant mule deer. Hunting mule deer has been a tough season everywhere I've hunted this year. We're going to sneak up to a waterhole. There's a waterhole up here about 200 yards that doesn't have a road up to it, and we've got a blind set up there. And there was earlier before we got here, there's some good bucks coming in, and we're going to slip up here and see what we can find. Just sit the rest of the day. Last day, we're not picking up the rifle. I've decided. So I just keeping my fingers crossed we can make this happen.
As they were going to their blind, they walked right up on a nice buck.
at us. He's looking right at us now. All right, he's turning. I'm gonna smoke him if he turns. He was sitting there eating and he busted me, making noise there, trying to get you over here. We had just got out of the truck's just driving away. Pretty decent buck too. I didn't get time to judge him. I just know he's wide. I've shot quite a few with my rifle and shot one last year with my bow and arrow. Shot a 3x3 and did it again out here in Sonora, Mexico. They get way bigger out here in the desert, you know, you don't get me wrong, but this is a cool old buck. He's probably coming down. He's got some gnarly horns on him. He's just been surviving in the desert. All right, well, now that we got to relive the last 4 years of Headhunter Chronicles and getting to know Jason Bruce, I sure hope I didn't bore you too much because we got some exciting hunts coming up this season. We're going to Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, New York. We're going to chase elk in Kentucky, and we're going to sneak down to the last continent I have to hunt and hunt indigenous game in Argentina. I appreciate everybody watching the show for the last 4 years, and I hope I'm around for another 4.